Damien here to inform you this Saturday, February 22nd in Tunica, Mississippi. We're right back in your city. First things first, Mad City versus the Hater Blockers. You're going to see that for the first time in Tunica, Mississippi, in a contract signing between the Savage, Geo Savage, and that monster, the monster, Malachi, for an OCW World Heavyweight Championship match at Blood in the Water, March 8th, also in Tunica, Mississippi. Both locations at 1165 Abbey Drive. It's a show you won't want to miss, I promise you that.
What's up, Infinite? We back. Solo SB. This guy in the middle here, outside the ring, Michael Moore. Inside the ring, Damien Ryder from Omega Championship Wrestling.
Mr. CEO, Mr. GM, Mr. Ring Announcer, Mr. Music Player, whatever job they got, I do it all.
He does. I seen it live in person. He was all over the place.
slash. You gotta write two different lines. You can't just put it on one. Like you gotta put. Yeah. For this video, you're gonna need the whole description.
Yeah, we look like a credit.
You're gonna need the whole thing. Just
producer, director,
all editors, recording video.
I know that's I get in the ring for a little bit.
That's right. I'm training. I'm training to get in the ring.
Hey, you gonna? I got the title.
I'm just Mr. Man's
Bro, so yeah, this is February 15th? What y'all do for Valentine's?
Let me tell you, I will
keep it peachy.
No. So I love my wife. So I get in the car.
Make that clear.
Yeah, that's the first thing I
heard.
I love my wife. I love my wife. So I told her last week, because she works at a restaurant and she works at a tattoo parlor. She's a tattoo artist. And I told her, I was like, look, you're going to be busy Friday, so let's not do anything Friday. Let's wait until Saturday on the 15th to do all of our Valentine's Day stuff. So that way you don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about coming up there bugging you while you're working and stuff like that. And let me tell you, I got up at 3:30 to go to work Friday morning. And I said, AM. Yeah, 3:30 in the morning to go to work. In my car, in the passenger seat. Box of football cards, because I'm a football card collector. Candy, bear, all types of stuff. And I'm sitting there like, I told you to wait till Saturday, so I got it. So now, because now I feel obligated. Now that you did it, now I got to go to the store and do it. So, and I go to the store and I probably spend about $80 to $100 worth of stuff. Got a little pig that said, "Don't go bacon in my heart." We a little cheesy like it is. It was our first Valentine's Day as a married couple, you know. So
so you gotta.
We had to go a little all out for it. And I get in there and I'm in the house and I'm sitting there and I'm putting everything on the table and everything for her to see. And I walk to the bathroom. I walk to the back to go to the bathroom. I look over in the room, and then she goes sitting right there. She just looking at me. Wow. What you doing in there? Whole shit sends you up anyway. Man, come and bring your ass. Come on, man. Come look at what I got. Shit. And she got in there. She started, got the tears going. She a little emotional. And something like that. And then we had plans to go. If it don't storm us out like crazy, we're gonna go bowling because our first date was in Cleveland, so we was gonna go bowling in Cleveland for Valentine's Day. I thought that would be pretty cool. What y'all did?
I'll let you go first.
Hey, what? Okay, cool. Because
my boring as hell.
He looked at me like man, compared to him, I don't know.
Y'all should let you go last.
My bad.
So no. I'm single, so I all I did was just take my little girl out. So
okay,
like being in McDonald's, let her play a little heart out. Got a beer and some chocolates and stuff like that. So yeah, even though she came from daycare with like 3 big ass bags of chocolates, and candies, and oh my god. So yeah, that was the thing. But yeah, it all worked out because she played herself out. She went right to sleep. So that's right. That was wonderful. That was my bad.
I'll let you tell yours, and I'll press on that.
So, I was so busy yesterday, that I knew I was gonna be busy because my route. So I said Thursday. Me and my girl went out Thursday and spent our time out Thursday.
Okay.
Friday,
smart.
Because Friday I didn't get home. I start off my morning in Greenville at 4:30 in the morning at Walmart, and then my day ended for work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was work So when I got off, I was extremely tired.
Yeah, not he working.
He
just
give you any trouble about it? Was she like,
oh no,
are you too busy with Valentine's Day?
No.
She ain't like that.
I gave her a heads up. I said Thursday I got off early, so I said, hey, let's go out to eat.
Yeah.
Water, whatever she wanted to get, flowers, all that stuff. Had a good time. That's why we couldn't do the So she was good, and then I got home, chilled, tried to play a little bit of the game, completely passed out.
That happened to me. Like I literally turned the game on 2K, looking at my player. He didn't move. He didn't move.
I had me a good drink. I'm not gonna say what was in it, but a mixture of an energy drink and tequila. And
you said you weren't gonna say what was in it.
Look, it gotta be something else.
No. I don't want to. The brand.
Gotcha.
So the energy drink, tequila, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be up for a little bit. It's energy drink here. Completely wrong. 2 missions in on Call of Duty Black Ops, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to go. Time to go.
Man,
so yeah, that was my Valentine's Day. So we had to do it a day early.
I'm glad y'all had fun.
Right. So I gotta
a little bit of animosity with that.
I gotta ask you because you like me, you got a lady, but you got a friend that's single. And he a gamer and all that. He like kind of nerd thing, Not saying that's nothing wrong with that.
Well, correction. He's single now.
Oh, my bad. Single now. So you ever you ain't never said from the jump. You ain't never gone to your girl and be like, hey, let's go on a date, and I want to invite him. But if you've been like, hey, let's go eat somewhere. You mind if I bring?
See, here's the thing.
You ever done that?
Without saying too much. Exactly. And it's not he knows what I'm talking about. It's not a.
Oh, so she ain't the type. She like, I want my one-on-one time. I don't want.
We gonna say that.
Yeah, you're gonna say that.
We're gonna say that. We'll say that. Yeah.
I got you. So I asked that. I got a buddy of mine. Me and him go way back. He's one of my cameramen. Shout out Donovan.
Whoever you are, Donovan.
Yeah, he was the cameraman with Spike.
Oh yeah, hey, cameraman, you good, bro?
Yeah. And he told me to let him know where all this is going. He wants to subscribe to y'all, start keeping up with y'all too. So,
appreciate it.
Shout out. Anyway, he's like I said, I've known this guy. I've been in Greenville since I was in 6th grade. Not originally from Greenville, and
I was like, where you originally from?
Originally from New Orleans.
Word, okay.
Yeah, so if you hear the accent. New Orleans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't say it.
If you hear the accent, that's where it's from.
Okay. So we're gonna put a tag in the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about that later. So he was one of my first friends coming in. I've known him since we was in 6th grade. We had classes together once we got into 7th, and then he was actually my best man at my wedding. Oh wow!
And so my wife treats him like family, just like he's my brother. So when we go out to eat, as long as it's not a clear cut like tonight, I'm not going to invite him out to our Valentine's Day, not the date tonight. But like most of the time, it's like, hey, we're gonna go out to eat. Is it cool if I invite Donovan? And she all for it. Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, you're talking about as a third party on a date? Oh, yeah. We don't do our bros like that. We don't do our bros. No, it's not. This is. But I know how it feels to be a third party or fifth wheel on it. Nah, I wouldn't do nobody like that.
Nah, she get mad sometimes because sometimes she turn into the third.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You go either way. It'll be an episode of Boy Meets World. Have you ever watched Boy Meets World? Yeah. It'd be Sean and it'd be Corey and Sean and Topanga, and sometimes it'd be too much Corey and Topanga, it'd be too much Corey and Sean, and it won't go right.
See, but when you have a daughter, you can bring the daughter, and then your wife and your daughter kicking it, and me and my boy kicking it, and you know what I'm saying? No, ain't nobody third.
It works out.
That's kind of how that go. My mom, she'd be like, why you always invite him on y'all's dates? I was like, ain't nobody say it was a date with you. We're just going out to eat. There's a difference.
True. Yeah, like tonight, that's a date.
See, that's a date. Right. We're not inviting nobody, just me and my daughter out of town with my mom and all this junk.
Oh, I see what y'all got. Okay.
So we're going to go out on a date. We're going to go bowling, go eat some Mexican food. You know what I'm saying?
Get some tequila shots in.
Maybe
some margaritas,
So somebody got to drive, unfortunately.
Hey, have your boy drive.
Who?
Your boy drive. Somebody got to drink.
He be definitely driving.
That's what I'm saying.
You be driving.
That means either I'm driving or she driving. And I've been driving all day, so I ain't driving.
Got you. So you and your boy going to partake.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Man, so So what did you think about the Super Bowl? The game, and then I had fun.
Okay, so I will start by
first
saying
off, who did you have a team on the Super Bowl?
The Meteor. I was rooting for the Meteor to hit it. Like I'm from New Orleans. I'm a Saints fan. We was put out of the playoff contention pretty quickly, but I was actually going for Detroit. I always liked the Lions since Calvin Johnson Megatron played. They've always been a team that not necessarily.
I know nothing about today's football.
Calvin, that was years ago. Calvin Johnson. That was probably 07. I think he retired 12.
Yeah.
So when did Deion Sanders retire?
It was like early thousands. I want to say
that's when I retired.
Early to mid thousands.
That's when I stopped. Hey.
I retired when Peyton Manning retired. That's when I retired.
Yeah, I was a big Peyton Manning fan.
And when they go to football, I was saying when they go to basketball, Jordan retired. I'm talking about the first time, not the I was done.
We don't count the second time.
Yeah, we don't count. Yeah. There you go.
Damn. We don't count the Wizards.
Yes.
I was Drew Brees. I almost retired from watching when Drew Brees retired. But I'm a big Saints fan. But like I said, when Saints wasn't going, I seen Detroit doing their numbers. I'm a big. I don't watch every single game, but I keep up with everything. Right. I'm a football card collector, which is like the stock market. When you play it, the football cards, the players on the football cards are doing good, sell them motherfuckers out, they get the things out. But when they're not, I gotta keep up with it at some extent.
Right.
But I was keeping up with them, and I seen they go into a deep playoff spot. I'm like, man, I'd really go for Detroit. And then when they lost to Washington, I'm like, well, I like Jaden Daniels. Washington's pretty cool, I guess. They haven't won in a while. I'm always for the underdog win.
Right.
They don't really win a lot. So, hey, Washington, come on with it. And then Philadelphia won, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can kind of go for the Eagles. Saquon Barkley, I like Saquon. I got his rookie card, I guess, if he
hold on to that.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to that.
So,
the Eagles?
The Eagles?
So no, the Meteor still.
Okay, Meteor still. Okay.
But I was like, the Meteor kind of hit.
When
we gonna call the Meteor the defensive line?
Yeah, the Eagles once I was like, well, I guess it's not. It could have been worse. But
yeah.
All right. So what about the Super Bowl? Like, what you think about
the
halftime show? So like I said,
it's divided.
I meant to say this before I started this conversation, which was I did not watch the Super Bowl because I did not care enough because I wanted the media. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But I've seen the clips of this halftime show with Uncle Sam and the kind of the symbolism of everything, and I get it. I'm not against. I'm not saying, he shouldn't have done this. Now, it was funny when he played Not Like Us. He was. Somebody had said, somebody had said this, and this is, you might have to bleep this one out. That they had edged us 12 times over the Not Like Us beat. Over the Not Like Us.
Yeah. He didn't fake out a couple times. He was like, hey, you can't play the song because they sued.
And then he finally played it at the end, and I thought that was funny. And I've always. I don't listen to rap a lot anymore. I try to be Christian, man. I try to keep off the evil. But before, I was an avid Kendrick Lamar listener. I was an avid Drake listener. I was listening to Good Kid, Mad City. I was listening to Pimp a Butterfly. I was listening to Views. I was listening to If You're Reading This Is Too Late. All these albums I'm listening to. And I've always been a fan of both of them. So when they started feuding, I was like...
kind of divided.
I was divided.
However, as divided as some people may be, how do you feel about the move that Drake did by suing, or quote unquote suing?
I mean, it was a bitch move, but it's a Drake move. It's a Drake move.
I love it. I love it. It's a Drake move.
But see, here's the thing, and this is a hot take. Get ready. This is a hot take.
Okay. Controversial.
It's a controversial. So to me, the best diss song out of all of them, to me, was Family Matters. You see what I'm saying?
I feel the same way. I like now. Kendrick was to the jugular, right. But I guess. Song-wise, content-wise, Family Matters.
Right.
And like I said, Drake did what he did, but that song in itself, and he just encapsulated that song in itself.
And I've said it before, I agree with that.
And he can't stand Drake.
I can't stand Drake. I Family Matters, but I couldn't take it all in. I was before I working at where I'm working at now. I was working up the road. I was driving 2 hours to other branch to work at Walmart warehouse. So this happened in one night. I literally woke up and he had posted in the chat, hey man, Drake came with Family Matters. I was like, oh, yo, Bob and Family Matters. 20 minutes later, what?
I was just about to say that.
I was like, what? What? He responded again?
I was just.
I feel like, and I don't even like these actors. I feel like again. How? It's like it's been 20 minutes. I'm literally vibing to Family Matters, and then he said, "Hey, bro, you ain't gonna believe this. Kendrick dropped it again." I said, "When? It was early today." He said, "No, it was like 20 minutes ago."
I'll tell you who captured it. The YouTuber, the group that captured that moment. Well, it was RDC World. I don't know if y'all watch RDC World.
Yeah.
And they posted the video.
Yeah, we get a reaction to it. Yeah.
I was like, I think that's exactly how it felt. It was like Drake won for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, I ain't gonna lie. Like Drake, yeah, he kind of hit. He had the whole video.
It was the best rapping I've seen Drake do in his entire career, and he went at everybody, and I give him credit for that. And I don't like him though. I give him credit for that. However, this is Kung Fu Kenny. This is the boogeyman, bro. He overwhelmed him, and he had 5 more. He probably had 10 more.
You got to think, like, look at each of their influences. So you got Drake, who's influenced by Wayne, and Wayne is a great rapper, but but Kendrick's influences are the Eminems, the
battle rappers,
Tupac, all them. And these guys are ruthless in battle. Yep. Versus Drake with Wayne. I mean, like I said, Wayne is a great rapper, but and he could, if he really wanted to dish you, he's gonna dish you, but he doesn't really.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
That's not his style. You know?
And as far as the Family Matters was a better diss, but I personally, out of all of mine, all the disses, both sides, on Drake's side, Family Matters. Yeah. On Kendrick's side, Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria has a lot hidden in there that people really just skip over, especially in the beginning. It's still coming true today. And I mean, the beat switches was crazy. What he was saying was crazy. And but like I said, Family Matters was better this, but he just got overwhelmed, man. Well, and then he ended up. I mean, I'm sorry, not like us, just a bop.
I'll ask this to y'all then, to switch the spectrum here. If with Drake, like, because with the so that is I try to keep
PDF file.
PDF file. There you go, the PDF file stuff. That would be true. But the other things that he was saying, that Kendrick was saying on Meet the Grams, and then Drake, knowing he had the mold, and fed them false information to give to Kendrick.
Right. And he said it first. He first said he had a mold. Kendrick first said it in 616 LA. There's a mold in this camp. And we was like, what? Is it true? You know, a lot of stuff was being said to us, but then when by the time we went to Meet the Grams, it was like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on? Now, about the other child, I don't know if that's true, but the other stuff, yeah.
I said that Drake came back on the Hard Part 6 and was like, which was a trash rap, it was a trash song, but he came out and was like, dude, I knew you had it.
Yeah, I gave you that
information. Yeah. Okay, to see if you would bite. And you don't think that gives Drake any more credibility than that?
No, because he lied. Okay. He lied, bro. It is proven that everything he said, he basically in the song, he went to 3 different emotions. And one of them was saying, denial, acceptance, and then he's like, and the third one, what would you say the third one was?
It was
defeat. Yeah, he was almost acceptance and defeat.
He was almost. It sounded like he was sniffling at the end of it.
Yeah, he almost accepted his defeat. And he said, "You can't in a rap battle. You cannot say, oh, I'm done. It's a battle. In a war, you gonna say, oh, I'm done, unless you surrender, right? Right. So I'm going on vacation. I'm done with this. No, that means you surrender. That's how you. That's one.
You out of Cancun.
And two. Who said anything about Millie Bobby Brown? Did Kendrick say anything about Millie Bobby Brown?
No, but a lot of the fans.
So you worried about what the fans saying now?
He watching. Yeah, Kendrick didn't say it, so I mean. Yeah.
And then you had a lot of proof of when we did videos on a lot of proof of
I had a show about that.
Suspect activities between Drake and younger women.
It's out there.
It's out there. And now, as far as the child goes, like I said, the daughter goes. Now, I don't know if that's true because it hasn't come out yet, and they probably not true. But everything else, no, he didn't fall.
Well, what do y'all think about the J. Cole part of it?
J. Cole, weak. The one side of me feels like he was smart for backing out because the other side feels you're a buster, bro. You're a buster.
I don't think he would have gotten as much flack.
Yeah, it's not as much.
But there's also another part to it. Schoolboy Q basically threatened this man not to
Yeah, he was
They
show.
Yeah, he came to a show, showed up at a show, and said, "This is beyond just regular beef.
Yeah.
Stay out of it." And he did. That's the
So
same.
you gotta respect him for
Yeah, because no, Schoolboy, that's
Schoolboy Q ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah. That's the guy. So he took it seriously. That's why he like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I gotta let Nas down for a sick time. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why J. Cole. So the part, like I said, it's two parts to me. Like, okay, I understand, and the other part saying, but you brag, it's a battle,
That's what got me. Like, he got these braggadocious raps saying, if anybody say my name, blah, 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 this gonna happen, blah, 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 and then it happens.
Yeah.
You apologize for it.
I think it would have been better for J. Cole to just not respond and begin with it.
Yeah.
Just being like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is between y'all, I'm out of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I will say this, and this is just my opinion, I still say 2024, Chris Brown had the hardest diss in 2024.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it, but that's why I heard that same thing.
He had the hardest diss in 2024, and he had nothing to do with anyone, either Drake or Kendrick. And I feel like, that was the hardest diss. But yeah, Family Matters, I agree with both of you on that.
People were trying to, because it wasn't just him, it was a lot of people trying to get in on that diss just because it was gaining so much. I think Rick Ross had
yeah.
The 20v1, that's what it was. It was like people were trying to capitalize on the
Drake has burned a lot of bridges with a lot of artists and people behind the scenes.
He still gave them number one. I'm just saying.
They did.
He still gave them number one. And they always have that.
Yeah.
You always have that.
That happened. It did happen. But that's fact. But yeah, I guess once he
was it him or the workhorse behind him?
The machine.
The machine.
What it was?
Not just that. The company behind was the machine.
What you say is his rich daddy.
Yeah. Was it him or the people behind the scenes helping boost
Lucian? I said Julian. Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian.
Lucian. So do y'all think it's over with now?
No.
I think
no.
I think
the fan. I mean, cut you off. I think the fans is not gonna let it be over with. Because every time I get on Facebook, it's some weird stand-up Drakes or weird stand-up Kendrick trying to push this. I don't think they're gonna let it go right now.
I think Billboard is gonna be the cause of that too, because Billboard every week they're keeping Not Like Us on the top, and you can't tell me, like, I understand it's extreme, but you can't tell me that this is like number one for this many weeks in a row.
No, we were
without some type of help.
It's a video we did that we couldn't. The audio was terrible. We was talking about it. This has been going for a whole year. I mean, every time it starts to die down a little bit, something happens where Drake does something, and then picks it right back up.
Yeah,
because he keeps.
He just kept quiet,
let it go.
It would have died out. But it's a hit song, but all hit songs eventually come off the Billboard. Yeah.
Because here's the thing: is like from Drake's point of view, so they calling him this and that and all that third, but he's not losing deals. He's not losing label.
True.
He's not losing all this junk. So you sitting there and suing for defamation. Defamation is whenever you lose all that stuff because of what they say, but you ain't lost nothing.
Yeah, true.
So what you suing for?
He's bitter. He's what did I always say? He's a narcissist. He doesn't like to lose.
Only thing is UMG taking out the stuff for. I mean, I don't blame him. You gonna sue us? You're not releasing nothing on our watch.
Right.
Done for. So y'all get that. But in that, and that was his own.
And you know what? I don't say he hate to lose. I think it's the person he hate to lose to Kendrick specifically, because he's with Pusha T, he let it go apparently. With McMill, he won. But
he won. He didn't keep going.
He didn't keep going with it.
He let it be. He took the dub.
Yeah, well, I think it's just Kendrick. He just is. It's like one person. You're like, nah, I don't want to lose to him.
Right.
I can't. And if I lose him, he's gonna crash out. I think it's just Kendrick.
He definitely crashed out.
Yeah. So definitely. I think that him losing to him, he's just I can't let that slide. I'm gonna get you some kind of way.
Yeah.
Beat me down, I'm gonna bite your ankle.
I'm gonna take ankle with me.
So yeah.
So that's
I think that's we ask everybody that question.
Yeah. I like to hear different perspectives and things about that.
Like I said, I wasn't like super in depth into it, but I satisfied the question.
You good.
So go ahead.
I'm about to dive into the wrestling.
What you about to hear?
Yeah. Hey, like I said, we get carried away.
I understand.
So we'll go off on one subject for about an hour.
I'll talk your head off you.
Mr. Omega championship wrestling. Where did that originate from?
So,
I know, but I'm gonna let him answer it.
So I remember y'all talking with Swan and Miles about this, and they mentioned to you guys that I started out as a referee, and that's completely true. Let's backtrack further than that. So my cousin Justin Blake, shout out Justin Blake, he's a wrestler for Alva Wrestling. He was a wrestler for Alva Wrestling back. I think his first match.
So you're related to Justin? Didn't know that.
That is my cousin. Yes.
Didn't know that. Go ahead.
This was November 20.
He's strong as hell.
His first match.
What do you think? What does he eat? He's strong as shit.
He's a country motherfucker. That's why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So his first match was November 2022 against Nico 5XL.
I feel like he could have picked up Nico easily and beat him. Like
He's super flex tip.
Yeah, Cesaro's type strength. I don't know. He's hella strong.
But you fast track. I mean, you go rewind when we're 13 and I think he's 15. I forgot his age. He's a little older than me though. And we're in the backyard in Greenville. I go to his house one day. He's got 2 or 4 sets of tires with a couple pieces of plywood on top, and we sitting there wrestling on that, throwing each other against a chain link fence, bouncing off the chain link fence like it's the ropes. You know what I'm saying? So it originated. That's the originator. And then like the love for it even went back further. That was the first time I'd ever had the experience of being physically wrestling. Now I've been a fan of it for, I think religiously I was a fan since WrestleMania 28, Cena versus The Rock. No, I'm sorry, the Raw after WrestleMania 27 when that feud first started. This was WrestleMania 20. This was the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 27.
When The Rock showed up.
And they confronted each other.
I just had left. As a backstory, I just had left Reggie's dorm room. I was just walking downstairs. He's like, "JR, come back, bro. It's The Rock." I said, "We was just talking about it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh crap!" I ran back into the room, and it was The Rock. He showed up. Yeah.
That is my first. I remember my first Monday Night Raw ever watching. The first memory of wrestling I ever had was when Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank on John Cena way back when. I think it was at.
If Chris was here, he'd tell you exactly.
I know it. I always say, "Chris, when was this?" And but that's my very first memory ever of me watching wrestling, and then the Monday Night Raw after of 27. So. Fast forward to the present. So this was March 2022. Justin was talking with Alva Wrestling about becoming a wrestler. He invites me to the back of the locker room. We're setting up. He starts to train. My very first bump, he says, "All right," because this was after he had trained a little bit. So when we were back there on the tires and the plywood, we didn't know nothing about it. We just doing what we seen on TV.
Yeah.
First thing he says is, "Hey, Mike, take a bump." Okay, take a bump. Smack the back of my head right on the mat. In wrestling, let's peel the curtain back a little bit. In wrestling, to protect the back of your head, when you fall on your back, you are going to tuck your chin so that you don't hit the back of your head. That's how you avoid concussion. I did not tuck my chin because I didn't know. He said he didn't tell me. He goes, "Take a bump." Okay, smack. And I said, he says, "All right." Now I said, he said, "Yeah, that hurt, didn't he?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "So from now on, tuck your chin." And I said, "Oh, okay." So. We go through that entire show, Alpha Wrestling Association, and he didn't wrestle that show, but I remember seeing guys like Colin James, Cobra King, Rooster. I think Mr. J was at that show actually. We had just
Rooster. Hey, shout out to Rooster. We need him back, bro.
Yeah,
Rooster, cool guy. I
didn't even know I knew Rooster. I went to Bluff City Wrestling sometime in 2023. And to be a referee, and didn't even realize he was in the locker. I did not know that he was Rooster. But I would go back and see a picture. I was like, "Dude, I met this guy in Bluff City."
Rooster is so cool, bro. You don't even know him. Yeah, he make it like you know him for years. Like he make it like you got some family. Yeah, he's such a cool guy, bro.
I almost had him come to a show. I almost had him wrestle a show.
Hey, I need him back.
Gio almost had me.
I thought he's coming out of retirement.
That's what Gio told me, but then I think he backed out at the last minute. Okay. But so anyway, this was March 2022, and we sit there, we're watching it, and I'm really getting into it. I was like, "Dude, I got to get in on this." November 2022, Alpha had another show in Greenwood this time. The first one was in Greenville. The second one, this is in Greenwood. Mm-hmm. And this is when Justin had his first match. He comes out with this big dog, probably as big as me. Yeah. And freaking running into, I was like, what the heck he got going? Because I remember that. I didn't go to the back to see the trainer. I just heard him tell me, he was like, hey, I'm having a match. You should come out and see it. And so me and my buddy Donovan, we both went together. And I texted him after the show and I was like, how can I get in on this? He says, well, they'll let you come in and train. You just, set up the ring and all that junk, and that's it. So now we're at January 2023 in Tunica, Mississippi, at the same building that we're at right now. And I'm training with Justin and Apex, who was the promoter of Alpha Wrestling. Shout out Apex. He comes up to me and I think he had 2 or 3 guys call out, referees call out. And he goes, hey, Mike, this is the first time he's ever talked to me, interacted with me, anything like that, because even at the other shows, I didn't really talk to him. He says, hey, man, I need referees. I need a referee. This referee called out. This referee can't make it. Do you think you can do it? In my mind, I'm terrified to death. I'm 20, 23. I was not even 24 yet. I was 23 at the time, and I'm sitting there like, no, heck no, I can't do this. And my mouth said, yeah, I got it.
That's what many people know, man. Being a referee in a match is it takes a lot of concentration. It's very difficult.
And I had to referee 6 that first show.
That
first show, I had to referee 6. Damn. And it may have been 5 or 6. It was somewhere around there. But I had to referee the entire show by myself.
Yeah, they're very important in matches. Very important.
And so for the rest of the time that I was training, it wasn't training to be a wrestler anymore. It was training to be a ref. I had guys like John Allister. I forgot his last name. John Allister, and then Fancy Bryce Dancy.
I work with Bryce.
Bryce?
I was working with him all this week.
Cool dude. I don't know how he is there, but the interactions I had.
I've known Bryce for a while, yeah.
He's a really cool dude. I wish he'd come and wrestle for me.
He said he's done.
That's what I heard, so I didn't ask him. But he trained with me. He actually taught me the basics in wrestling after the show after, but he was, they were having matches and before the show and was like, just training me, hey, this is when you count. This is how fast you count. This is how slow you count. This is, do this, do that. And so the first match, let's see, I can't remember the order of the matches, or I can't even remember all the matches. I'd have to go back and just really pick it. I'm not going to do that right now. But I do remember one match, my very first show, Nico 5XL, and I think it's a guy named Cody something, or something Murphy. I can't remember what his name is. But it was a wrestler, Nico, and Nico was new at the time, too. And he had just gotten into it, I think November 2022 with Justin. That was his first match, too, in Alpha at least. And he goes, and there was some type of miscommunication in the ring. Nico goes for a clothesline. The guy didn't duck it, or Nico went too low or something like that. Hits him right across the nose and breaks his nose in the ring on my first show ever referee. And I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're not ready for that.
Dude rolled out the dude who got his nose broke, rolled out the ring, and they were talking. Whatever, and Apex, and I'm sitting there, Apex is looking at me, and I'm looking at Apex. Apex is mouthing to me, he says, count him out. Boom, counted him out. Count out to 10, ring the bell, Nico gets the win. At the end of the show, this was back when the Mooney family was big. Mooney family, for those who don't know, it's Jack Mooney, Twan Tolliver.
I like to call him Jake Mooney.
Jack Mooney.
Just to mess with him.
Right. Twan Tolliver and Nico 5XL. And I think Jake.
See, I got it. See how it just rolls off the tongue? It just rolls off the tongue, yeah.
Jack Mooney was facing Sinbad at the
Sinbad. I never heard that guy. Who's it?
Sin. That's Isaac.
Oh, Sin. He named himself Sinbad?
His name, it's short. We call him Sin, but that's short for Sinbad.
Oh, I thought it was
it's Sinister.
Sister. I don't know. Hey, I know you're talking about.
You may be right.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was Sinister or Sinbad. It's one of those. It's short for that. And at the end of the match, I think Sin won, and they're going out the ring, and this dude comes out, broken nose, and they healed his nose, I guess taped it up, whatever, and he shoots on Nico, just laying into.
Okay, wait a minute. Who's brave enough to go against Big Nico?
Well, this is back when Nico was like, he's still new in the business, so he's like, he doesn't know how big he is, so he's.
Man, still listening in life, you should know how big you are. He's 5XL.
And he's thinking, and I'm sure he's thinking up to this point, okay, this is planned. But he goes out there, and from what I got told, he shot on Nico, and that dude did not get booked again for Alpha Wrestling. Neither did John Allister, but that was from another reason that
I know.
That was for multiple reasons that I've been told, but I ain't gonna get into all that. So now I'm the head ref. So we were running shows January, February, March, and April in Tunica, where we're at now at the Rec Center. And all 4 shows, no, it was 5 shows. It was 5 shows. And all 5 shows I was running except for one that I didn't do by myself. One I didn't do by myself. I got assistance from a referee named Alan Two-Count.
That's the first name for a referee.
Alan Two-Count. Yeah. He's
it sounds like a wrestler name, but yeah.
He's a great referee. I think his name's Alan Lentz. I think that's his actual name, or his in-ring name, but they call him Alan Two-Count. Gave me a lot of pointers. I think he came my second or third show, and I split with him. But other than that, all those shows I was doing by myself. So at the first show, I learned my lesson at the first show because I was like, between matches, I've got a bottle of water sitting under the steps, like, and Apex hit me, you good? Come on. So, and we kept it going. And I do remember another, I think it was Tip. He actually gave me my first interaction in the ring. He had gotten in my face. This is back when Tip was running heel. And he was getting in my face real hard, and he hits me.
Shout out to Tip.
Yeah, I love Tip. Tip is a mind you can pick all day long. He'll talk to you all day long.
Yeah.
And he gets in my face because he's a bad guy and I'm a good guy, new ref or whatever. And he just whispers, push me. Huh? And he shoves me. He shoves me to the ropes. He push me. Huh? Push me. Boom! I shoved the hell. I shoved the hell. He gave him the biggest shove ever. And he sold it. And he got into the corner and cowered away. And I thought that was pretty cool because this guy, he's been in wrestling for years. And I'm this new guy, not even trained all the way and everything. And he just, the fact that he would give that to me was awesome. And then, like I said, I refereed the rest of them. I think we ended up taking a break all the way until July. I think we came back. Alpha came back. I love Apex to death. We were running. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into what the reasons were for why Alpha wasn't running, but I'll say that we were not running as much as we could have been, or maybe we couldn't have. But we just, if it was up to me, I'd be running weekly shows. That's why I mean by that. So, when I'm like, in my mind as a new guy, I'm like, why are we not running weekly shows? Why are we not doing this? And now that I'm a promoter, I get
a lot of the shows. A lot of people wanted to see them. Like Greenville, wanted to come see him come back. Cleveland, I know Cleveland wanted to see him come back. We were asking like, man, what?
And they were selling out before the pandemic. I know before the pandemic, they were selling out shows everywhere. So, and I think that's probably what ended up happening is after the pandemic, it was just slow to get back to going and everything. So, but I was just happy to be there. I didn't want to overstep my boundaries, and I still don't overstep. Like I said, I'm appreciative to Alpha for everything that they've given me and gave me the opportunity to do. So we come back in July. I think we were coming to Greenville. We did awards in Greenville, Mississippi. And again, I think that show also had help too from a guy named Ben Watson. I think he goes by a different referee name now, but his name was Ben Watson at the time. And he's from Memphis, and it was his first show ever refereeing, I believe he said. And so I'm thinking, I'm the vet. I'm going through, and he does pretty good. He does really good. And I think I just seen a post he posted on Facebook the other day that he's already refereed. Since then, I think this was July 2023. Since then, he's refereed like 300 matches since then.
Damn. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
2023?
It's from 2023 till present. So from July 2023 till present, he's refereed. I think he said he posted 300 matches. He said. So now it's like, okay, candle with you. I'm coming in. I was going into that like, hey, I'm kind of the veteran here. Hey, let me show you this and that. I'll take this and you'll take this and then I think Jack Mooney and Sin, they did another match in July. And they gave me my first referee bump, which it was Sin shot Jack to the corner. I'm standing right there next to it, and Jack pulls me into the corner. Sin splashes me, and I'm just like, oh, that was big time. And so I'm selling the heck out of it. And then we ended up going to Greenwood. Greenwood was probably our best shows in Greenwood. They were sold out. which Greenwood wasn't ever. I don't know if you ever been to the places in Greenwood.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah,
that we were doing. And
yeah. I went to 2 shows in Greenwood.
While they didn't have a lot of chairs, every single chair was filled up.
Yeah, it was.
And that place was loud. It's not a big place, so we, them 20, 30 people.
I was one of them yelling. I have a video on Instagram where I like Nico and Jake was walking by, and I was like, "You suck" to both of them. And Nico give me a look like, "Hey, I come over them. Hey,
come over there now.
come over there, like, hey." Wait, I'm one of those. I'm one of those guys in the front row.
So we were doing really good over there, and we actually had from I think August to September and October we had shows lined up in Alpha. We were coming to Cleveland. We were going to Clarksdale. We were coming here to Clarksdale. We were running shows in Greenville, and then they just I get a text message, "Hey, all these shows are canceled to be determined on the next show," and I was like, "Oh heck, I don't know what I'm gonna do then. I guess this is my out." And actually, but it wasn't. I texted Apex. He had a separate ring from the one he was using, and I said, "Hey man, do you think I could get that together and try to use it as a training ring, just not just for me, but some of these other guys?" And he said yes. So I took the ring out of his trailer, and I had it set up in my backyard for an actual wrestling ring, set up in my backyard for probably over a year in Greenville. And
90-year-old me would probably have a freaking fish. Like I would be in heaven with a ring in my backyard. Bro.
And that's what it felt like. It took a lot of work, and I don't think it ever still to this day. I think we still had issues. I think we had to like redo some welding or something on it before we broke it down. But because we either could get the spring in it to work really good, because it wasn't like our ring where it was like vacant in the bottom. It had something in the middle, and it was a spring. That's how it would bounce very well. But it was either the spring worked or the ropes worked, but you wasn't getting both of them working. So either you were able to take the ropes or you were able to run the ropes. But my referee Thomas Sewell, he would come out every week, every Wednesday. I was like, "Hey man, I'm off on Wednesdays. You want to come out?" Or it was Tuesday. "Hey, you want to come out on Tuesday?" Heck yeah, man! And he was there, and Justin was there a couple times too. I would train with him, but me and Thomas just got in there, and we're both still new to this. I'm still new to it. I only know a few things, and he doesn't know more than what he's seen on TV. So we were just going in there and doing the best we could, and it translated good for us because he's come in and he's one of my best trainees right now, and he's really close to being ready. But that happened. We go then. In the meantime, I worked at Bluff City with Rooster. They did me dirty, but I ain't gonna trash them. Bluff City, they do their thing. They inspired me to start the recordings. Because Apple wasn't doing recording. They did have somebody recording like on a hard cam just so they could have it, but they wouldn't post it.
One of the things I was gonna ask you, like your style of promoting and your shows, especially the first show I went to in Cleveland, loved it. Because the Nico, the one which you did, not Nico, sorry about that. The one you did for the smoke, and then the video package you did for.
Oh, okay. So
it was on the screen. I loved it. It was like, okay, I expect big things from Malachi from that video.
Yeah,
it felt like a WWE event. Like you see a video package for somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was that for, but I'm just giving. I love it. I
cannot take credit for that. They gave me that video.
They gave you that video.
They had made the video. Malachi. It was in Malachi or Too Much Tackett. His manager.
Where is he?
He's just got things going on outside of the ring, and I know he's a softball coach as well. Mm-hmm. So, and they're getting in the full swing for the springtime. So, I was hoping that he would come in to do these next 2 shows because it's going to be really special. I had plans for Malachi, and Tackett really
been in there for a minute
because Malachi is not a talker, and he can, but like his character, that's not who he is.
Yeah.
So having Tackett there with him just kind of adds that depth to it, and he was going to go at it with, Malachi and Gio are actually scheduled to face at OCW's Blood in the Water on March 8th, and I wanted Tackett to be there. Blood in the Water, OCW was Blood in the Water.
We're going to do a drop after this. We got you. Oh, yeah.
But, so and a lot of these guys that I wrestle with now, that I have as wrestlers, I've met these guys through Alpha Wrestling, and most of them. Now, some of them were like, "Hey, you want to get, this guy?" I think Jimmy Hayes was a guy who somebody had said, "Hey man, I got this guy from Horn Lake, wants to come out and wrestle for you." And Jimmy Hayes, he's a nephew of Jimmy Valiant. And I was like, "Oh heck yeah, come on!" And he's made pretty good expertise. And then Ken Dane, who we just got at this last show,
I like him.
the All-American Ken Dane.
Yeah.
I edited their match, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yeah, that was a good match.
This is a good match with him and Cobra King. Is the funny thing about that is I got stories.
My two favorite matches from that show was, of course, Mr. Smackums and Gio.
Oh yeah. The early. Make sure y'all get there on time early.
Yeah, you never know. That was main event. That was main event standing right there.
I did that on purpose. So I'm old school. If I say 7 o'clock, 6:50, you're late. I'm old school like that. Now, but I'm also.
Hey, remember I said we need to get there a little early.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and that's a bad thing. But it was something that's like, what do I do for Tunica? Because I can't go later now. I could once we move the time back to where it was. So the reason we go late now instead of early, so we usually start at 6. Now we're starting at 7. The reason we're starting at 7 is for actually it's for Nico specifically. He works as a. And I mean, put your personal business out there.
Yeah,
that big. No, he works at. Oh, it's close. He's actually a jailer.
Oh man!
Oh wow!
Bro,
he's actually.
I feel sorry for him.
Man, hey, bro, yeah.
He's actually, and I didn't know that either. So, John Dykes had told me he was like, hey man, because I had told them about it. He's like, oh yeah, he's a jailer over there. Man. I was like, he's what? He works where? He's a jailer.
He can take out half a mom right there, bro.
He don't need nobody working with him. He's the only one on this ship.
I swear.
He's the only one.
They make them think twice. Do I really want to do? No, I'm good, bro. I'll stay in the cell.
I'm good, bro.
I'm good.
But he makes he texts me. He's like, hey man, it just so happens that every single because he works the night shift. I think he works from 5 to 5 in the morning. And he said, man, it just so happened that every single show that you booked, because I was booking on bi-weekly, he would have 1 week he works nights, 1 week he works days. And it just so happened every week that I had a show, he was on nights. So he wouldn't have been able to been off for it. Yeah. So he was like, but if you move it back an hour, I could take a break at 6, shoot over there at 6:30, shoot over there to be there at 7, give me an early match, I'll do my match, and I'll haul out. So I've been back to work, and I was like, dude, I can do that. Let me call my guys up at Tunica C. And then Tunica's been real cool about it. Mr. William Walton, the owner, real cool about it. I've heard great things about just. I've got a wise man who one of the guys from Alpha is actually a guy who, like, he gives me a lot of business advice because he's
your Paul Heyman.
He's my wise man. Exactly.
Yeah, your wise man. He's Paul Heyman.
My wise man. And my man Derek Tillman. He's a business owner in Georgia. So he can give me the business side of it, but he was also a lot into where we were getting booked, how we were getting booked, and he had a lot of interactions with not just wrestlers, but with the owners of the buildings we were using. So whenever he heard I was possibly into it, he was like, oh, you got that easy.
And also, Cobra King, man, shout out to him, man. He's a great wrestler, bro. That man, hey, it's a lot of matches, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just a Geo fan, and Cobra King is awesome. Awesome. He's a great worker. I seen the match he did with the guy you said Ken. What's his name?
Ken Dang.
Hey, that match was
a good match.
That was a great match. That's my second favorite match of that night, by the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's great, man. Like,
so and my wise man was actually the reason why I started this company to begin with. He's the one who was like, hey, Alpha is probably not running for a while. Maybe we can talk with Apex and see about getting his ring and running shows. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did, and sure enough, I've got Apex was like, yeah, man, you can run shows, and he actually called me to congratulate me after the first show and was like, hey, man, you did a great job. We sold 100 tickets our first show, and he's like, man, that was awesome.
I have a possible controversial question as to why you named it Omega. Alpha Omega. I gotta ask you.
That is exactly. A lot of people think it's because of Kenny Omega, and
that's my boy, Kenny Omega.
I respect Kenny Omega. He's not one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Sorry, he's a great wrestler. He's not my favorite of all time, so it had nothing.
Great wrestler. The promo work needs work, but he's a great wrestler.
I'm a WWE mark guy, and for the most part, like, I respect wrestlers at other places, but a lot of my great wrestlers are from WWE. It's the AJ Styles because of his. I mean, look at the hair, phenomenal.
Yeah. You look kind of like him.
Thank you. I actually grew my hair out because of the meme, because people were like, dude, you look just like AJ Styles with your hair long. So I was like, I'm going to keep it then. So Omega. So yeah, that was a direct influence from Alpha Wrestling was Omega Championship Wrestling. Once upon a time, and this is something that's still gonna happen, just not me be a part of it, was Rowena Championship Wrestling, RCW, which was Derek Tillman's company that he wanted to do. And he still wanted to do it, but he said he's going to wait a little while to get his pallet business going and fluctuating without it, so that way he can focus on that. But the Rowena was his family. It was a family member. I think it was his grandmother, that because they're from here. Avex and then Pillman and them, they're from here. And it was like a grandmother of somebody who had passed away, and we were going to call it Rowena Championship Wrestling. And then we started running Alpha again, and we were like, well, then we could just put this kind of to the side for right now since Alpha's running, and then now they're not running again. So I was just like, we talked to Apex and was like, hey man, you're not running any shows. Do you mind if we run shows? And since then it's been good. We actually almost got Mooney back for actually this coming up show this week.
And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I didn't know Mooney lived that far away.
Yeah, so he lives in Montana.
I thought he lived here,
Montana.
Clarksdale. He's from Clarksdale, correct? Yeah, he's from there. Like, but he works at an airline.
So what would I don't know if you want to talk about, but what would the process be to get him to come to a show?
So he was, like I said, he works at the airline, so they get free tickets.
Okay,
and
that's a plus.
So right. I think what the process of it was, and I'm not speculating. This is what I think I've been told. I've been told this. I may be inaccurate, but this is from what I was led to believe, was that he would fly to Atlanta because Tillman's from Atlanta, and then Tillman would come from Atlanta to here to help Apex run the show.
Oh wow!
And I was gonna have him back because when Mooney found out I was running a company, he was like, he called me too the same day. The day of the show, he called me that day as I was setting up FaceTime. He congratulated me, wished me good luck, and told me that if he had somebody to come get him from Memphis, that he would come out and do some shows. And then we came to, I showed him the schedule for this year so far, and he was like, February 22nd, I'll be there, because the 22nd show this weekend was supposed to be here in Clarksdale. And it got canceled. We had to move it to Tunica. Right. But he was actually supposed to come out. He was going to do one match. He was going to do one show for us in Clarksdale, just for his hometown. But he had to back out because he works at airline. I think it's United Airlines. They send him wherever, and they're possibly sending him to Phoenix. Or it may have been what it was, or some other something like that. I just knew that. Because of that, it was going to be a better opportunity for him. So he was like, I'm going to focus on that. Hey, man. Do what you got to do, man. I would do the same thing.
Make that money, black man.
That's right.
So, what are you, like, as a promoter and as the company progresses, what are your goals for that?
There is, okay. So the goal to begin with was running a show. Okay. That goal was done.
Yep. Then
it was to run consistent. Well, so far that's done.
Yep.
The next goal is there's a company that I'm not going to name we are going to get bigger than. And no, it's not Alpha, so I don't think I'm trashing Alpha.
I wasn't going to say that.
Because I know that's the only company we really talked about. Yeah. Alpha Wrestling, like I said, I'll never trash Alpha Wrestling. They gave me the opportunity to. They put me where I'm at, so I can't trash them. There's a company that is around here in the 4-state area that we live in that I am going to get big. We are going to get bigger. And that is my next goal because I heard that they do their wrestlers wrong. And the thing about me as a promoter, the goal, one of the real goals behind the scenes was making sure everybody's treated fairly and equal. We're gonna come in. That was what I stressed out to begin with. We're gonna go into the locker room, and you guys don't have to be lovey-dovey, we're brothers, hugs are each other, but you're going to respect each other. If you come in here causing problems, I'm not a bullshitter, I'm not a drama queen type of guy. You want to cause problems, there's the door.
So you're going to have a Triple H kind of running things, a promotion, right, as opposed to a Vince McMahon.
Correct, where we're not. And I do like the competitive edge. So sometimes I will give you a competitive. I'll say, hey, look, man, depending on whoever, like my referees.
Some of those would be like a lot of tension. Some of those tension between those guys were good outside the ring.
Correct. Like, for example, my referees. It was this last show on the 25th. I told all three of my referees, I was like, hey, look, today I'm about to train y'all. And then after that, I'm going to get 2 guys in here, and each of you guys are going to referee a match. And whoever does the best is about to be my head referee from now on.
Let it fight out. What is it? Dark Knight. He's like, I got 2 of you guys on one job opportunity. So
there's no show,
get to work.
And that's kind of what I did, because going up to this point, I'm sitting there like, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Going up to January, the first 2 shows, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't like booking guys who are gonna. I don't like booking guys to lose, because I don't want them to think that, oh man, he don't like me, that's why I'm losing. And it's not that. It's just, you need more work, so I gotta get you to lose so I can build these guys up. And in the meantime, you can show me your crap. Because I'll never tell these guys, hey, go out, like, let's say any guys with Nico. I'm gonna never tell you, hey, go out there and get killed by Nico. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have a competitive match. Now, if I had suggested to my referees, hey, just to get you guys in the ring, not in character, go out there in a mask, just be a local competitor, and go out there and get squashed by Nico. But I'm not gonna let a character die by just continually having it out there. Like Miles had not suggested, but he was asking me questions, and I think he was feeling discouraged because I had him go out there against Nico and lose.
Shout out to Miles, man. Hey,
I love Miles.
I gotta say this as a side note. Miles is a great seller. I be thinking Miles gets really hurt out there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, are you after the match? You're like, what's going on? I'm like, I thought you was dead, bro.
So he is. But and this is not to discourage him because I don't like him. So we actually had to. I had to go back to the drawing board, because when I edited the show, there were a couple matches that did not live up to par, to my expectations, and I put these guys in a group chat, and Miles happened to be one of them, along with Twan Oliver and a few other, and I said, guys, we got to get better. We have guys like Gio, Tim, Malachi. These guys are Skyler, Smackos. These guys are main event talent, but I can't just have them be. I can't have 2 or 3 matches and the rest of you guys be trainees. You guys if you guys are going to work the show, you've got to
kind of have everybody just kind of, inspire or have a standard to look up to and meet.
Yeah, and so I put them in a group chat, and I said, this group chat is separate. So we have 2 group chats. One is the OCW locker room, I call it, and that's everybody. Then you got the OCW green guys, which are the new guys, including me. I tell them that I'm a trainee just like you guys are, because I plan to get in the ring at some point too.
Yeah.
So, but this group chat isn't to dog anybody. This is, and my trainer, I got a trainer in there too named Colin James. And I said, this is not to...
I remember the Filipino Dragon.
Yeah. This is to review the stuff. This is, I'll send y'all the matches as I get them done. Y'all review it. If I have an issue with it, I'll let you know. And this is to improve each other. Like, everybody's going to improve on each other by being in this group chat. Like, hey, for example, there were 3 spots that I really paid attention to, and 2 of them included Miles, and 1 of them included Twan. Miles, and it wasn't just Miles' fault for one of them, but when they did a belly to belly suplex, that's when they take you to the front, throw you to the side. Yeah. I had to explain that to you. I know you ain't much of a wrestler.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
My bad. But you knew what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
When he came down, Miles had his leg hit the ground first at an angle that if it would came down,
with the big dude that he was with,
snapped his ankle, snapped his leg, something like that. And I told him, I said, "This is what I did."
His hip could have made it serious.
And he did, and it was twice that it happened. One of them, I'll say, one of them was Miles' fault, and one of them wasn't just his fault. It was the other guy's fault for not really getting him over like he was supposed to as well.
Yeah.
But it's things like that. And then Twine had, whenever they did the finish in their tag match, whenever
I don't know that spot you're talking about.
So they get Miles up to do the clothesline.
And
Twine comes in and hits him in the leg.
I thought he legitimately got injured.
Yeah, I did.
I said the same thing. I
thought he got hurt.
I said, Twine, if his leg was planted on that ground and you hit him too early, you were gonna snap his knee. I said so, but it's things like this where we've got to work on this. We got to be. I want you guys to be in the ring. I'm not gonna tell you guys you can't be in the ring, but you gotta be safe. And then you hit him with a chair. The other thing was Twine hit the guy with a chair on the shoot side, we call it. It's on the shoot side. He was hitting him with the hard side of the chair. And
he did not hold back with that chair shot. He did not hold back with that chair.
Let me say that while also saying this. There is no safe part of the chair. There is a hard side that is going to hurt. and there's a softer side that is going to hurt less.
Yeah.
They are going to hurt regardless. I am taking 2 of them from Twan Oliver. They are going to hurt. I was sore for a week, December, from him in the back, and he hit me hard. Now, look, I have to send y'all
transition. Speaking of,
go ahead. Yeah.
What is the situation with Mr. Twaliver?
Yeah, because I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm sure the people watching want to know.
Yeah, what happened. Look, fair enough. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 answers. I'm going to give you in character. I'm going to give you out of character.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you the in character first. So this clown decided he wanted to come to me. And he just out of nowhere was like, what was it? What was his first match? It was against Preacher Ford. And he goes, why you got me going against Preacher Ford of all people? And he just started dogging me, the GM, saying it was my fault that I should just let him be in the title match and all that stuff. And he started throwing threats my way, so I went out there and I got my big man to show him, hey man, I'm not messing around. I got guys who will come at you. I ain't got to do it myself.
Flex that power a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Flex the power. Got in the suit and tie, and I went out there and I said, we're gonna put you against Preacher Ford, and you gonna like it or you ain't. But regardless, I'm the boss. You know, and that's what it was. And then he just started to go at it a little bit more, and I said, you know what? I'll tell you what. Since you think that I'm so unfair, why not? And because of all that, see, and let me backtrack to the Preacher Ford matches. Because of all that stuff, you caused me to have to get into your match and cause you to lose because you wanna sit there and you wanna talk about me and you think that I'm just sitting here and do nothing. Like he went and put his hand when we came out here to do an interview and he gonna show up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he gonna put his hands on me. And I had to and he thinks that it was, you know, me going to the board of directors. No, I had to talk to the board of directors not to suspend him and fine him the first time. And then it was the second
answer
time.
is so Vince McMahon, Austin screwed Austin the comment, or Brett screwed Brett. That's the vibes I got. I just screwed Twaliver. Twaliver screwed Twaliver.
You know what I'm saying? So because he put his hands on me, I had to get my. I'm an eye for an eye type of person. I'm a Bible thumping eye for an eye man. You know, you come at me, you put your hands on me. I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna just do it when it matters. So in his match with Preacher Ford, I went in that match and I put my hands on him. And because of that, he lost his match and he lost his title opportunity. But then he got a second chance because Preacher Ford had to back out, so he had a triple threat match. But since he thought I was unfair, I said, you know, let's let bygones be bygones, and I'll be fair because I'll be your referee. So when he came in and he lost, he got upset about that and he decided to take a chair to my back. And like I said just a second ago, I was out for a week. My back was hurting for a week. I'm working at FedEx. And my back already hurt. And you made it worse. So we get to the January show. And you decided you want to get in my face again. You can see it on the footage. I'm talking about we were nose to nose in my face. So at the end of it, I took a bat, just like you took a chair. And I took a bat to your face, to your chest.
I remember that.
And I kicked your damn head in.
And out of all this, Twaliver, you should apologize.
Exactly. You should be apologizing to me.
You're an insubordinate worker beating on your boss. And
here's the thing. In great Drake form, he goes to the board of directors.
I love that.
He goes to the board of directors, my boss, and tells them and starts bitching and complaining. Man. Oh, he's in my mouth. He's interfering.
No, you did about you did. That's like tough.
Nah, I need that's the business, you know, and
all you hear is from you hear a bunch of gibberish. Then that's the business.
And then what I heard was that they had to have him write it out because they couldn't understand what he was saying. So they had to write it out, and that's when Omega Championship Wrestling, the page shared on theirs, was him writing it out because he couldn't say it to him. So he wrote him a letter, and the board of directors, you know, they I guess read that he was correct. Didn't hear it. They read it. and came to me and said, "Hey, look, if you're going to be in his matches and you're going to be inserting yourself, then you don't deserve to be general manager." So I have to lay off. So,
Oh man.
but just know it's coming. It's coming.
And that's the business.
And that's the business. All right, now we got the character out there. Yeah, we got the character.
Just playing prime time.
Hey, yeah, no, Twan, you know I love you, dog. So now let's go to the character thing. Let's go out of character. So this is before the first show. He goes, "Hey man, what do you do? What do you think about an angle where it's just me versus you?" Like, so the first video he did was not planned. He did not ask me.
Really?
I did not tell him. He just did it. And on some
aspects, it was pretty genius.
No, it was. It was. So he take it. I was like, dude, I like it. Let's do it. Let's run with it. And the first match I don't guess was Twan and Preacher. And I said, now what they were telling me in Cleveland was Preacher 4 was about to get booed. Nobody likes Preacher 4, and they want to see him get his ass kicked.
With the exact opposite.
So I said, Twan, you're gonna go out there and we're gonna turn, because Vince McMahon is a heel character, and I said there's no authority figure that is babyface. So I said, you know what? You go out there and be not a bad guy, but not a good guy, but don't go out there and say, jumping at the crowd. Just we're going to change you to be the good guy.
Can I add in real quick? It is impossible for Primetime to be anything but a good guy. It's impossible. Yeah. Go ahead.
So he goes out there, and I'm sitting there, like I said, with that in mind, I say, Preacher, you go out there and you do the same thing, because I want to see their reaction. So the entire match, Preacher's getting cheered, Twan's getting booed, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
The fans aside.
Yeah, right. So afterwards, I communicated to Twan. I said, hey, I communicated at the main event. So after the cost of the match and all that junk, Tip, Gio, and Cobra had the main event triple threat. And the controversial ending was that both of their shoulders got pinned. And I said, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go out there before the match. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'll go out there and kind of try to decipher what happened. Because, again, I didn't see it because I'm in the back. So I'm trying to get the referee's decision. In the meantime, because Tip was a babyface. All three, Tip, Gio, and Cobra, were supposed to be babyfaces. And it's okay to do matches like that because they're all superstars. Everybody loves them where it's somewhere. Right? So I said, okay, all you three of you guys are babyface. But Tip and Cobra were getting booed because people love Gio. And that's understandable. People love Gio so much they will boo whoever is.
By the way, that Cobra, that leg lock into the suplex was
beautiful spot.
Beautiful spot.
Yes, beautiful.
Cobra, bro, did it.
Cobra King is the man. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So, I saw the story too. By the way, I'm sorry y'all lost. I'm sorry you went way to New Orleans and saw that. I'm sorry. I meant to ask him about that next time I saw him.
Wait, what happened with that?
He's a Kansas City. He's a
Chiefs fan.
Yeah. He was in New Orleans with his Chiefs.
Cobra added you, but unafraid to me. We got problems with that, bro. We got problems with that, buddy. I still support you, though. We got problems, buddy.
I know a place you can solve problems. I'm just saying.
I'm not wrestling coach. I look like a fool. I look like a fool, bro. I'm the same move you were talking about.
But they were getting booed, and I said before we were still in the back, and I'm hearing the crowd, and I said, I'll tell you what, Twan, I said, to get your heel back, just so we can establish you back as a heel, I'll tell Tip that you and Tip are going to jump Gio at the end of the show. And that's what they did. And I think, I can't remember, I think Cobra kind of because Cobra was only going to come to one show, I think, and then he switched. And Nico was the same way. So the first show, Nico lost to Malachi. And one of the reasons that he lost is because I'm very adamant on attendance. Build you up because you're not going to be there to get built up, So
that makes sense.
So with Nico, the first thing he told me was, "Hey, I can make it to that one, but I can't make it to your second one." So I was like, "Okay, well, we'll have you lose to Malachi, so that we can build Malachi up as a contender, or whatever we decide to do with it." And then after the show, he was like, "Yeah, man, I can make it." I think a lot of the guys, I think even Smackham's was supposed to be at those first two shows and didn't show because he was a champion.
Yeah, he told us that. Yeah.
So I think what happened, and I may be wrong, I think part of the reason that happened is that Skyler talked them into it because of the way we do things. And I'm fair. I try to pay everybody. A lot of companies don't pay their wrestlers, especially the trainers and the younger guys. I try to pay everybody except for my trainees are the only ones I don't pay, just because in exchange for training, from without me charging them to train.
Well, yeah.
They work for free.
Yeah.
So it's an even exchange,
Right.
in my opinion. But that was the thing with Twan, and then from there, like I said, we just kind of every single show it was something else. Every single show we added an element, an element. And I told him I was like, eventually, what's going to happen is me and you are going to be in it.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Out of all the storylines you got going on, that's the ones that treat me most.
But me and Twan?
Yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we're gonna put that on cool down for a little bit. It is because
I have one more.
No.
That's like you're really man. That's like you're really man.
No, let me tell you why. It's because I want to give hater blockers their chance, right? I want to push them a little bit.
Who debuted on here?
Right, the hater blockers. The tag team as a group debuted at the show, but their name was right here at the universe.
Yep.
And I stuck with it. I told him, I was like, dude, that's great. I love the name. We'll keep it. And I that's another thing I wanna say, that I'm a guy who, if you got ideas, bring them to me. If it makes sense, we'll do it. And if it doesn't make sense, we're not gonna do it. But if it doesn't make sense, I'm just gonna be like, no. It's gonna be no, and this is why.
Right.
If you lose a match, you're losing, and this is why. And you can either like it or you don't, but it's just the way the business gotta go. Because it was actually Gio, two guys, Gio and Tip, have been a great influence on how I run the show. Because Gio gives me, Tip is a promoter for North Delta Championship Wrestling right here in Clarksdale. Yep. And so he's been giving me the promoter side advice. And Gio, who is been all over the Delta and all over the tri-state area, gives me the wrestler point of view of what they do in other companies. So it was one day, it was after the second show, I believe, or after the first show, and I had a conversation with both of them separately, and both of them kind of gave me the same answer, which is because I gave them the same question, they gave me the same answer. The question was, well, if you were me, what would you do? And both of them gave me the same answer. It's not up to me. It's your company. You got to do what you want to do. It's your vision. And the other thing that they both told me, which was, because I'm still new to this, like I said, I've only been actually in the ring training since January 2023. So as far as like how these guys go and their stories and what their characters, I'm still new to this. I'm brand new. I've only been booking shows since November. November was my first show I've ever booked. I didn't book on WWE 2K. On 2K, you know what I did?
It was actually after my birthday too. The show is after my birthday, November. It was November 9th, right?
It was November. Was it November 9th?
Yeah, it was November 9th because my birthday was November 8th.
You lucky I didn't know that. I was embarrassed. But no, so they like even on WWE 2K when I was going to Universe mode, random, because I did not book. I did not think about the creativity enough, but now I have to, and so that's what I would tell them. Hey guys, I'm still new to this, and I think that those two guys were thinking that people were taking advantage of me, because I believe there are people in the locker room that tried to, and they were like, you gotta, because I told them from the jump, it's like, I'm a fan doing this. Everything you see, the fatal 4-way for the championship title, you know what that was, what inspired me for that?
What was it?
The first ever Universal champion. Not the first ever, the second one. The one Kevin Owens won.
Yeah, it was Kevin Owens,
Seth Rollins,
Roman Reigns, and
Big Cass.
Big Ass.
Hey, no, I like Big Cass.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest shocks ever, because I thought they were really gonna put Seth Rollins, because that was Triple H's guy. Yeah. And then when they chose Kevin Owens and turned on, bro, I love that match.
I watched that match live, and that inspired me.
Me too. Yeah.
So that's why I tell them a lot of the booking is inspired off of things I've seen. So, but that's just me being the new guy that I am. I want to get it because people see it on TV, but it's like they don't see it in person. Like, when's the last time you seen a fatal 4-way elimination match in person? It's never. December 14th.
If it ain't WWE or AEW, I've never seen.
You see what I'm saying? So I do things like that to get now, and I've got other things I want to do, like ladder matches, table matches. I want to do all types of stuff. I don't want to go I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go death matches, but I want to do matches like that where we get, because I'm a big fan of those matches. I'm a big fan of the more extreme
And
matches.
I also like to point out, I notice a lot more adult content as opposed to Alpha, because it's maybe not all the way adult, but it's like more mature.
Yeah,
the audiences.
Because I think the biggest, so a lot of my family showed up to the Alpha shows when they heard I was refereeing, and they would always give me the critique, and one of the critiques was that the wrestling wasn't great, and that's because we're new, that we're not going to be able to avoid that. And then the other one was that it catered to kids, and that's fine. But we want to start like that. Yes, we want to cater to kids, but we want something for the adults too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we had at one point discussed even getting a beer license and even able to sell alcohol at the shows just to get.
What was I doing the whole night? I was looking for something.
Yeah, he looked for a beer. Yeah, he was.
I think actually the Christian, who is the runner, the guy who owns or is the president or whatever he is to the Cleveland Park Commission, said that whenever I'm ready, I can tell him, and he'll run it up to the chain of command, and he can get that approved to come to Cleveland when we come back to Cleveland, we will be back. We will be back in Cleveland. Breaking news.
Hey,
public.
You heard it here first.
We will be back in Cleveland as of right now in May.
In
May. It was April. They pushed it back to May. So we're going to be back in Cleveland in May.
And then my next question is, as you mentioned right here, what is the future events upcoming events that you have?
So as of right now, we only have 2, but more to come. We have 2 confirmed, which are this weekend, February 22nd. This is our last taping before the first ever OCW presents Blood in the Water, March 8th, and both of those are going to be in Tunica, Mississippi, at Tunica Recreation Center, GW Henderson Jr. Center, which is off of 1165 Abbey Drive in Tunica, Mississippi. And we're gonna go and tear it out.
What do we expect for the blood? What you call it? Blood in the water.
Blood in the water, yeah.
What do we expect from that?
So all titles will be defended. Yeah, and this is also more breaking news. We're gonna crown our first ever tag team champions.
Okay.
First ever tag team champions.
So the card gonna be stacked.
So y'all got 3 tags. Or was it more than that?
We have a lot. It's just we don't use a lot. So we got Mad City, the new form Hater Blockers, the Dirty South. That's 3, and then we've got a plethora of others that we could do like Nico and Hammer Time if they decide to become a tag team after they hash out their differences from that choke slam we took, and Skylar. No, I'm sorry. From what I've heard, Too Much Tacket and the Russian Nightmare to become a tag team with the Monster Malachi. That's just what I've heard. I don't know much about that. Like I said, I haven't talked with Tacket, but that's what I've heard.
Really?
If you don't know who the Russian Nightmare is, he's our Russian masked man that
just keeps coming out randomly with the flag, walking around.
Okay. That is the Russian Nightmare. That is his name. And I think we're going. I seen what he did to Bobby at this last show, and I talked with Bobby, and I think that's gonna be a title match. Bobby's OCW Delta Heavyweight Champion on the line against the Russian Nightmare. Okay. Another match confirmed for Blood in the Water is Geo Savage versus the Monster Malachi for their OCW World Heavyweight title.
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
That's another match. You
got your hands full, Geo.
I think for this show, we've got a contract signing. This February 22nd show, we're going to have a contract signing between the 2 of those. I
can't wait. I'm sorry.
We're going to have a contract signing between Malachi and Geo. And then I think we're going to do the Dirty South versus Mad City for this show. I think we're going to do, I think that's not confirmed. That this is something that I've just been thinking about that I got to talk with these guys and see. But we're going to do Dirty South versus Mad City. No, I'm sorry. No. I'm not. We're going to do Mad City versus the Hater Blockers. That's what the match is. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. That's going to be interesting.
I think that's the match we're going to go with for that. And if you don't know, Mr. J and Miles got a lot of history.
Really?
Did you see that Cleveland Street?
Yeah,
they had a Cleveland
I saw that. Mr. J jumped off the ladder.
Jumped off the ladder.
Oh no, I missed all of that.
Yeah, he didn't. Of course, he wasn't able to make that, but I was there.
Yeah, he decided to take the ladder out. They had a Cleveland street fight. Yeah, even the promos leading up to that, they were brutal. Man, they was going all over the place with that stuff. And they were in a asylum. Mr. J has it's an asylum, but they call it an asylum. It's actually a haunted school, and I've been in there. Personally, it is exactly what he says it is.
That's his playing grounds right there.
That's right. So and I'll let you guys behind the scenes a little bit. There was a match that may have happened if January had fallen through. If we couldn't get Tunica in January, because before we talked to Tunica, we had no idea what we were going to do in January. Our next goal was like, okay, well, we don't have another place, so we'll have to wait till Cleveland comes back. We're allowed to come back to Cleveland. Because they said from after the December show, their basketball started with, they had basketball season started, and then they were going to redo their floors in the AC. So they were going to be a couple months before we could come back in there, which is fine. But I was like, well, in the meantime, I guess, I don't know what we're going to do. And so me and Josh and Miles had talked about it. Mr. J and Josh and Miles talked about it, and we had talked about letting them do a cinematic match inside the school.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew, and that would have been
We had thought about it. But January came to fruition, so we didn't have to do that. But it was an idea that we had, and we can come back to that. We can still come back to that. So, like I said, it's a lot of fun doing what I do. And these guys, they always ask me, because like my goal is to get to weekly shows. Like, you got to think we're this close. We're one show a month away from getting weekly shows because we got Tunica locked down. Cleveland's going to be locked down in May. Clarksdale's about to get locked down, whether we do it or North Delta does it. We might both do it.
Wait a minute, are you saying you might do a collaboration with?
Oh,
okay. All right. Just had that.
March 22nd. Keep your eye on that date. We'll say that. March 22nd.
March 22nd?
March 22nd. Okay. Keep an eye on that date. That's 2 weeks after Blood in the Water. Keep an eye out.
Okay. What's that?
But North Delta was gonna, or both. But I say both though when I said that because I think Tip runs his shows more in the afternoon rather than the evening, and I might talk with him about doing 2 shows in the same day. So he'll do the first half because we use the same ring. Like the ring I use is the same ring he uses. And so if he wants to, and this is just up to me and him, because he's a real cool guy. I think everything that I've suggested, I think we both kind of just meshed together about what we want to do. And he can run the show the afternoon, and then in the evening, 6 o'clock comes around, boom, we running the show again. We're running the OCW.
A fun-filled day.
Yeah, exactly. A full day of wrestling. Where do you get that at?
Right.
Right. And then there's other things that we've got that are in talks, like there's a church in Greenville that I've emailed, and I'm trying to see if they have a basketball court on their campus, and about getting a spot in Greenville. So that's it's like I said, we've already got 3, and we're just looking for the 4th. And then Tip said he may know somebody at MVSU to get a spot out to get to use their.
You get to the colleges.
Oh boy!
And the guy, I haven't done it yet, but I plan to talk to the guy that's coming up Friday on my way to Tunica. Because I had to go get my last referee check because I was refereeing for the league in Cleveland. And see if he knows somebody at Delta State.
Boy, that's his old stomping. Hey, this is our old stomping grounds. Even though I didn't go there,
like the gym or like the B-pad.
Whichever one. Whoever let me use it down.
You know, that's gonna be an audience right there.
So when I tell you, that's gonna be an audience right there. It's big things for Omega. When I say, I tell the guys, I'm like, look, my goal is to get you guys to other places. That's fine, to bigger places. But my goal for me is to be those bigger places. The people that people want to go. I don't think in my lifetime anything will come past WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor. I don't think anything in my lifetime that'll happen.
Or New Japan.
Or New Japan. I think all of those are established, and there's not going to be anything bigger than that.
Right.
But like GCW, PG,
and on the independent,
on the independent scene, trying to be the biggest in independent. To where we don't just stay in Mississippi, we don't just stay in the Delta. We go to places like Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, all these places we go, and then go further than that. That's the long term goal. Right now we just trying to get established, but that's the goal. Like I think big. You think big, you gonna get there. You know, you think small, you get small. You know?
And here at Infinite, from like-minded individuals as us to you. Hey, we couldn't agree more. Hey, that's what we trying to do. We all for that. Yeah.
being somebody like that, yeah. So yeah, I guess with that being said, I usually like to ask, I guess, any words of encouragement or motivation for our viewers out there. Anything else you'd like to say before we close this thing out?
I'll say this. And I don't like this didn't offend you guys, but because I don't know what y'all believe in. But all the glory goes to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'll say that to start. None of this would have been possible. I pray to him every day that whatever his will be done. And if his will is for us to get big, and even for you guys, if whatever you want, ask and you shall receive. He said those words himself. So, and if it's in his will, you'll get it. And strive big, like I just said. If you strive big, you gonna make it. If you think it's small, you gonna get small. Whatever it is you trying to get, it's gonna be small. Don't be greedy, man. It's always good to give. Give back to the community. Don't forget where you start. And man, just be kind to each other. Stop killing each other out here, man. Like, just being real, man. Stop killing each other out here in Mississippi. We a lot better. We got a lot going on in Mississippi. But unfortunately, the world sees us as the most crime-ridden spot in the world, in the U.S. Change that, it takes one person to say, it takes one person to tell the person they're beefing with, hey, man, I forgive you. Even though you done me wrong, I forgive you. Because at the end of the day, we all got one judge, and if he does not forgive us, then we go into a bad place. So if he's forgiven us for everything we've done, what's it to you to forgive the person that you drawing your gun at, to forgive for one thing he did to you? So that's all. That's what I got to say about that.
Long word. Act like I got some goddamn sense. Yeah, and so many words.
And that's also,
man, love each other.
And also, as far as the business goes, the possibilities are infinite.
That's
infinite. There we go. So yeah, with that being said, man, I appreciate it.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through. That's it, man. Infinite, Omega, Solo, SB.
You guys subscribe to these guys, man. These guys are doing great work out here in the Delta.
We try.
These guys putting on. I didn't even look. I'll say this: the last podcast they did with Twan and Miles, they didn't even have to say nothing about Omega Championship Wrestling, but they chose to do it. I didn't have nothing to do with that. I got on there. I seen them do it. I was like, dude, I gotta get on there just because they mentioned us. I gotta get on there because they doing right by us.
I actually been trying to get him to show up to a lot of these wrestling shows way before then.
Yo, you and Gio.
Because I've been trying to do this for a long time.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And not just for Omega. I encourage everybody, go and support every company that you can get to, because these guys, behind the scenes, these guys are working hard. I know guys that sleep in their car. I know guys who can't barely afford gas, carpooling, all this stuff. Like, personally, I pay for a hotel room just so my guys can have a place to sleep when they come if they want to stay in Tunica without having to drive 2 hours back and forth. So go out here and support them. A lot of these guys are doing it just because they love you guys, not because they love the business. It's not ever about the money. For you,
we love y'all.
Money.
We love y'all.
Well, that's it from Infinite, Solo, SB, Michael, Damien. I don't know which one it is today.
No. Like Damien Ryder.
We out y'all later. Peace.
Peace.